And about the food and the shopping there, everything's got prices on it. Even at the Mercato, things are priced on. I developed a reputation for being the guy, the foreigner, that didn't buy anything if there wasn't a price on it. You know, Europe is expensive, but not necessarily for professional life hackers. 5 things we love and hate about Italy. Why make a video about 5 things we love and hate about Italy? Because we spent a lot of time in Italy. Like we spent, what, 3, 4, 5 months at one time and then left, went to Eastern Europe, then we came back, spent another 3 months there. And after traveling the world for like 11 years, going on 12 years, you spend time in places and you go to other places like here, and you find yourself reminiscing and thinking about things. It kind of makes you wonder, well, why aren't you there? If you miss all these wonderful things about it, why aren't you there? And that's why we're saying that we love and hate. But it's not just that. Things have changed all over the world and our perspective has changed because of it. But we went abroad to create memories and experiences, memories through experiences. And it looks like it worked, because I find myself, like right here, I mean, I haven't had Parmesan cheese since I got here. It's been over a year, okay? 5 things. Just start with the wonderful things. The cheeses, oh my gosh, the cheese. It's not just Parmesan. The variety of cheeses, number 1. The price of the cheeses, oh my gosh, we were swimming in Parmesan. We were putting it on our salads. Not just putting it on our pasta, we were putting it on our pizza, we were putting it on our salads, we were putting it on our sandwiches. Oh my gosh. It's not just the quality, the flavor, and the price. Those are 3 things that make it like you're just gonna have to do it. And a lot of these are food, but they're not all food, so bear with me if you're not a food person. I don't know who wouldn't be a food person and be considering going to Italy. The other thing is olive oil. What's the big deal? I can get olive oil at Walmart. Yeah, but you can't get it for 3 or 4 bucks for a whole quart. And the quality, again, this is not just about price. I mean, you get olive oil here in Mexico, and it's good olive oil. I mean, you know, but that olive oil, it's like green, not pale green. And it's fresh, and it's 3 or 4 bucks for a quart. So like, yeah, we're putting it on, again, everything. Every day. Fill her up. Cheeses, olive oil. You know what's coming next, don't you? But the pastas, this is not just dry pasta. They're all over internationally. You can get pasta here, you can get pasta everywhere you go around the world. This was the homemade custom pastas that normally cost an arm and a leg. They're, you know, the kind that are still soft, you know, because they're freshly made. So it's freshly made custom pastas. Listen to this, for $1. Okay, it was €1, but I mean, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. We sit here and make gnocchis. What for? Just go to the store and get it. It's freshly made gnocchis and other kinds of pastas for $1. Nice thing to put your Parmesan cheese on and your olive oil, and you're in Italy. And of course we made pizzas too and all that. So yes, food is a big deal. And yes, I find myself thinking about it a lot, because like I said, I haven't had Parmesan cheese. I haven't had. The olive oil's all right. It's twice as much here. It's all right. Let's drop that conversation about what I can't get here. That's why I find myself reminiscing about the food in Italy. So, the beauty of the landscape. Now, this is a great landscape here. It's beach, and I always love beach. But when you combine the kind of landscape that's there, whether it's pristine countryside, Italy's got mountains in the center, and then it drops down the coasts, and then it's got these bluffs, lots of bluffs on one side. The other side's a little flatter. But these bluffs create these magnificent views, like they've got some of those kinds of views over in Chile, in certain parts of Chile. But these were even better than that because they have so many coves, and that one's just straight, with beautiful just as well. But just the beauty of the landscape, it's just magical. You know, and you don't have to go to any one special spot to get it. It's all over the place, all over Italy. So you can have amazing food, amazing quality food, for amazing prices, in beautiful surroundings. Well, this is part of the landscape, but the Mediterranean Ocean is just something else. I had forgotten, because I've been there in decades, and there's nothing wrong with this ocean. It's beautiful, but the Mediterranean is this pristine blue color, and you know, we didn't have these waves to kind of muck it up and you know, make it brown. It was just kind of like being at a lake, and so you could see right through it, you could bottom, and it was this beautiful, just blue when it wasn't polluted, which unfortunately is an issue, but that's getting ahead of myself. But on good days, just beautiful, beautiful ocean that is just pristine and picturesque, the color of it and the transparency of it, just everything, just mixed with the surroundings, and then going home and having the food and just the whole thing. And number 5 is, this comes from Angie. She liked the architecture. There is a lot of beautiful architecture in Italy. A lot of it is old. You know, Italy is very old. We had friends that came over to Ecuador and said, it's old, it's old. Well, don't go to Italy if you don't like old. Some things are just different because they are older, and they just have that beauty, that natural beauty that go along with that. Okay, so bonus on the things we loved about Italy. Now this is specific to southern Italy, and it was the live and let live of the southern Italians. They are amazing live and let live people. I mean, they just don't, they mind their own business. They're not meddlers like you get, unfortunately, north of the border here. A lot of meddlers. It just isn't there, not in South Italy. Now there's other issues in South Italy, unfortunately, so I'm not trying to promote South Italy as some sort of haven or some kind of, you know, paradisical place. It's got a lot of issues, which I've talked about in other videos, but that wasn't one of them. Live and let live. And it's funny because the locals even come up to you and say, people mind their own. I had a lady come up to me, a neighbor come up and say, after months being in the apartment building, she's like, people mind their own business here, don't they? And I'm like, yeah. It was interesting that she mentioned it. It's like, yeah, that's the way we are here. And she was like talking to me about it. You know, it wasn't like an accident. That's how we are here. And it was amazing, really amazing. I really like that. There are more nice things I could say about Italy. We did enjoy Italy, that we enjoyed. I'm sure none of those things are a surprise to you. And those are the things that we find ourselves reminiscing about, and just really thankful that we were able to experience those things when we had a chance to do it. It's interesting because people will bring up on our channel, if you're new to our channel, we have a different perspective of a can-do attitude that doesn't rely on delaying your life in order to have a certain set amount of money, which is what a lot of people do. And so they don't live their life until they get to that figure, and then they find themselves, you know, in that spot. And so we've got the perspective of those that decided to turn their life into what they wanted it to be since the day we decided to quit the FIRE movement back in our 20s. So when I think about those things, and it's like, I am so happy we were able to experience that and do it, because after 2020 we've decided that traveling has become something that goes totally against, you know, who we are, and therefore we would have been really sorry that we would have put something off. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make people feel bad, but I'm just trying to accentuate, because I find people, you know, focusing and thinking that way because it's ingrained in how we've been told all our lives, you know, to do things. And so, but we're getting away from the subject. It's part of the conversation. The 5 things we hate. Okay, hate. Well, you know, that's pretty strong, but you know. All right, so one of them is, I'll start with stuff maybe you haven't heard. Well, the electrical. It's like you can't turn the oven on and run your blender. You can't turn the oven on and run your hot water heater. You can't run your hot water heater and run your blender. You just, all this stuff you can't do. I mean, it's like you're living off a battery or something, you know. And you might think, well, you need to get a different apartment. No, we were in a brand new apartment. Oh, well, that construction on that one. No, we went to a different apartment. Same thing. It's just, there's jokes about Italian electrical. I don't remember the joke, but I'll try to remember in a different video. But they make jokes about Italian electrical. The next thing was the transportation. The bus system just doesn't exist. I found myself one day, because I came from Ecuador where the bus system was amazing in the sense that of the availability, because there's like a bus every 7 minutes. There's other issues, but that wasn't one of them. And so I went to Italy, and yeah, I did my homework, but I'm still hopeful that I could maybe use the bus system, and we used it, but we grew to hate it. Yeah. If you mess up and because you have to wait at least an hour, you know, that's normal. That's a normal wait, over an hour. And so if you find yourself like, you know, tapping your fingers on a rail or something, like you're getting really bored, and you go inside the coffee shop for a minute, and then that's when the bus comes. He came early because the schedule says he's supposed to come at 6, but he comes at 5:45, and you're in the coffee shop because you got tired or had to go to the restroom, because you can't wait in the street for an hour and a half without doing that, and then you miss it. So now you got to wait another hour and a half. So oh my gosh. Okay. And the price gouging. You think it's bad in Latin America? Oh, it's bad. Bad, bad, bad. I mean, it's just as bad as anywhere else, but it's really bad because things aren't really all that cheap in Western Europe already. And so, you know, it's like in Ecuador, you take a 1.5 mile, 2 mile taxi ride, and it costs you, I don't know, $2, $2.50. Over there, they want 10 euros, and then they try to turn it into 20 euros. So, you know, it's huge. It's not like trying to turn $2.50 into $5. You see what I'm saying? You get price gouged over there in Ecuador, it's $2.50 to $5. Now, you shouldn't put up with that. We didn't put up with that. But you go there, it's 10 euros already, turns into 20 euros. No thanks. The price gouging, very bad. And I mean, you know, that's because Italy is so touristy that they're used to seeing a foreigner as somebody that you just naturally just price gouge. And even the locals talk about it. They always were asking me, how much did you pay for the ride over here and stuff. They wanted to check and see how much did they really rake me over the coals. And I told them, because I talked, Italian to them and said, no, it needs to be this much. And I got the right price, and they're like, wow, they treated you right. Yeah, they treated me right because I made sure that I demanded that they treat me right. I mean, I say demanded. Yeah, I was nice to them, but
well, it helps that you speak Italian.
And about the food and the shopping there, everything's got prices on it. Even at the Mercato, things are priced on. I developed a reputation for being the guy, the foreigner, that didn't buy anything if there wasn't a price on it.
Make a story, honey.
And so that's how I stayed out of trouble with the price gouging, and everything's got the price on it, which is great. So, and number 4, what else did we hate?
We don't hate anything else about Italy.
Yeah, we both enjoyed Italy. We really did enjoy it. So with regret, we have to cut the video there. I know you came for 5 things we hate, but we can only think of 3. If I think of anything, I'll mention it in a different video. Well, here's the thing we hate. We hate that it's in the European Union.
Oh yeah.
Almost forgot.
Yep.
We hate that Italy's in the European Union. It needs to go back to being its own country, and that's a whole other conversation, just a totally different video. But all right, so I hope you got something out of that. Thanks for coming to the channel, and have a wonderful day.